Well, greetings, Uzi submachine gun fans. Today we have a very special and rare opportunity to unbox a brand new Vector Uzis submachine gun. Unfortunately, this is an opportunity few people will have or will have had, so I wanted to share it with you so you could experience what that was like. So all of the Vector Uzis came in a white cardboard box like this one, regardless of what model they were, whether or not they were full auto, semi-auto, full size, or minis. They all came in a white box like this, as far as I know. So let's open it and see what we've got. Bubble wrap. Yes. And underneath the bubble wrap, we've got some cool stuff here. We'll look at all of it, but I'm going to start with the sling because it's actually an optional accessory and wasn't included in the price of the gun. It actually came in two colors, this dark green, or you could get the desert tan also. They both work really well. We have a limited warranty from Vector Arms in North Salt Lake. And an Uzi submachine gun operation manual. Let's just thumb through this quickly and see what it has briefly. There's the gun with the folding stock extended, disassembled for field stripping, reassembled. How to work the folding stock, parts breakdown. So there's some pretty good information in here. Frankly, I'm a little surprised it has as many pages as it does because the Uzi is actually a very simple weapon to operate. We have a 25 round magazine and the actual submachine gun. That is beautiful. Awesome. So I don't know if this will focus this close up, but first thing I want to point out is up here at the top, there is the Vector Arms North Salt Lake, Utah inscription, because they were the ones that completed the gun. But originally, the receiver was stamped out by Group Industries, and they called it a model HR 4332, which is a sarcastic reference to House Resolution 4332, which outlawed machine gun manufacturing for civilians in 1986. But before that went into effect, that law, Group Industries was on the ball and they stamped out a bunch of these receiver flats and registered them. So Vector completed them into actual submachine guns, and that's why we have it today. Glad they did that. We see that this also has the ARS labeled selector, which stands for automatic, repeat, and safe, which tells us that this lower was actually intended from the get-go for export from Israel, because the lowers that were issued to the Israeli Defense Forces, those had Hebrew markings. We can take a quick look at that. If you buy a parts kit or any surplus parts, you probably are going to wind up with a Hebrew marked selector, which is pretty cool. And the other style that I know of they merited their own special marking. I think everybody else was ARS besides Israel, except for Germany. They got DES, which stands for duration, or in German it's Dauerfeuer, which means duration or continuous fire. The E stands for Einzelfeuer, or single fire, and the S stands for sicher, which is safe or sure. So that's just a little bit of trivia. So let's take a closer look at this Vector Uzi. So starting from the front, we see the barrel. It's easily removable, and I do have to demonstrate that. I will in a minute. The barrel nut that holds the barrel in place. The barrel nut release, which releases the barrel nut so that you can unscrew it. The sling hook. Charging handle. Of course, there's the front sight. Sights are actually pretty good on these Uzis. You can actually hit things at 100 meters. There's a selector switch. The grip safety, because even though you have it on fire, you can't pull the trigger unless you squeeze the grip safety. So that's kind of a nice safety feature. The folding stock, the rear sight, and on the other side, pretty much the same appearance, but on this side you do have the ejection port and the serial number, which I covered up for this video. So to unfold the folding stock, I'm going to do this a little more gently than I would do it in real life if I was going to shoot it. But you just whack the back of this and it will come down, and you can extend it thusly. So there's the extended stock, and to fold it back you have to kind of squeeze the rear section here a little bit and fold it up at least a little, and then there's a button here you press to release the pivot so that you can fold it back up and engage this hook that's underneath the receiver and click it back into position. So that's how the stock works. So here's how you field strip this or take it apart for cleaning. There's actually a little catch right here that's retractable. You press that in and the rear of the top cover pops up, and you can remove the top cover. And there's the bolt assembly right there, and to remove it we actually have to press the grip safety to slide it back a little bit, and then we can pop it out. So there is the bolt assembly. Pretty simple actually. Not very many moving parts. Here's the recoil rod and spring. And that's about it. I mean, this does have a it has an extractor that is on a spring, but otherwise it's pretty darn simple. So this barrel nut release, it opens, there's a little ratchet on this barrel nut, and pressing that makes it so that you can unscrew the barrel nut. And this is actually one of the most useful features of the Uzi, is its very quick change barrel. Comes out very quickly, very easily, and allows you to make caliber changes within like a minute. I mean, you could change this to .22 long rifle, or .45 caliber, or even the much less common .41 caliber. So that's how that works. Pretty quick and easy. It actually turns out that the semi-auto Uzis are a little more complicated mechanically than the full autos. They actually have more parts, more moving parts to make them closed bolt semi-auto. Okay, so there's the bolt assembly back in place. We can stick the top cover back in the front and just press down on the back, and there you go. That's it. And it is literally possible to change calibers from, say, 9mm to .22 long rifle easily within a minute. And you just change out the barrel, you change out the bolt assembly with the .22 caliber version. It's very quick, very easy. I really like the Uzi. I just think this is the coolest gun, and if you have a chance, I would encourage you to get one. Okay, that's it. That is a Vector Uzi submachine gun. And the reason I'm able to show you this is because in the early 2000s, when these were in production and a lot less expensive, I really wanted to buy an M16, but M16s were really expensive. Of course, they still are, only more so. But that was really at the limit of what I could afford to pay. And I thought, well, if I ever have to sell it, I won't have a machine gun anymore. So I decided to basically buy a small number, and it is a small number, of Uzi and SWD M11-9 submachine guns that I could buy not only for shooting one or two of them, but for investment purposes, let them appreciate and put them in a bank safe deposit box so that nobody could break into my house and steal my machine guns. I only take them out of the safe deposit box to shoot them, or to do this video. But for the most part, this gun has spent a lot of time in a safe deposit box. I hope you enjoyed this cultural experience. It's too bad that there's not more of these to go around and that they're not at a more reasonable price. Okay, so there you have it, the Vector Uzi submachine gun. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll never ask any of my viewers to press like and subscribe like those other people do who kind of make it a full-time occupation making YouTube videos. If you press like and subscribe, that's on your own initiative. I'm not going to plead with you to do that. I hate it when they beg for people to do that. Okay, have a great day. Talk to you later. Bye.